Without foreign buyers, property prices would actually be a lot higher. Find out why. Hello and welcome to Clearance Rate, a full wrap of the nation's residential property market over the last week. And we've been talking a lot of late about investor demand and what it's doing to the market and potential first home buyers. What we haven't touched on for a few months is the amount of foreign buyers, which was a big talking point towards the end of last year. Now, data from the latest ANZ Property Council survey reveals more than 1 in 4 homes sold in New South Wales and Victoria are being snapped up by foreign buyers. Now, while people think this is driving up property prices, foreign buyers actually play a crucial role in adding supply to the market and keeping prices under control. Now, while foreign buyers might be prepared to pay more than the locals, especially given the drop in the value of the Aussie dollar versus, say, the yuan, their purchases actually stimulate economic growth, which in turn provides the right environment for builders to go out and develop more housing. New South Wales real estate editor Tim McIntyre joins me now. And Tim, it really is all about supply and demand in terms of that house price being pushed up, isn't it?
Well, it is, and you can see in places like Melbourne where there is a lot of overseas development happening. They do have a lot of supply, a bit more than the demand, and hopefully we'll see that in Sydney down the track. This week, though, let's not get too excited. Sydney did have its highest ever clearance rate at 91.1%, but being the Anzac Day weekend, not much happening auction-wise, but actually still more than a lot of the other capitals get in the other weeks.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so let's have a look at the sales of houses over the last 7 days, because this is where most of the action for the last 7 days has been.
Look, just going off as per usual in Sydney, 864,000 the median, nearly 3,000 sales. Melbourne, more than 3,000 sales. Still, look, now creeping up towards 600,000 for the first time, and still some good value in other areas. Adelaide, just over 400,000. And
at this time of year, we usually see the volume of property going on the market come down a little bit at drop off. It's not doing that. It's still continuing to really soar up, and it's really good news for those people out there looking.
Well, in the hot markets, there's no such thing as a selling season anymore and an off season. So, look, here we go. Look, there's plenty of sales happening private trade, even with the apartments too. Up there, 650,000 for Sydney. All the way down to Adelaide at 327,000.
Well, we know that the Sydney market usually goes up every week. Let's have a look at some of the other capitals now in terms of that direction in growth over the last 7 days.
Melbourne, just a slight slip.
But that's all right, because it had been really travelling well, so there's no surprise that it's just sort of evening off a little bit there.
Yeah, at some point its lack of demand will catch up with the excess supply they have in Melbourne there. Sydney just tracking upwards slightly. Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth, pretty flat at the moment, but getting along, there's plenty of value there for buyers.
And for those investors, it's that annual change that you want to be looking at, that 14.1%. So your best return, although the price to get into the city market is so high, look at that return. So you're actually getting a lot back on your money. If you are looking to flip, it's no longer about the rent yield of your investment property. It's about that annual growth, that return, the capital gain that the actual property, the bricks and mortar gets, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you can get in now, this year, you'll still get a bit more of that. We're looking at another 12 or 13% growth for the year ahead in Sydney, and it'll start to bottom out after that, hopefully.
Yeah, all right.
Hopefully.
It's not going to drop off though, people, so don't be confused, because the market's not going to bubble, burst or crash. It's just going to stabilise in terms of that growth. It will slow right down. Let's have a look though into some of the houses that went on the market. What have you got? This one looks interesting, Tim.
I've just got one this week because of the Anzac Day weekend. I thought, where would you get a house for a prayer that's only 1 bedroom?
Well, obviously a church conversion. Isn't that great? Look at the space, the ceilings, the lofted roof there.
That's right. This one's in Carlingford in Sydney, and because of the huge blocks and the prime position that churches have been afforded, in most parts of Australia over the years, centuries, in a hot market, they're going to get a lot of money if they're up for grabs.
And is there much restriction in terms of the development if you wanted to, push out a window into that roof or get a little bit more light in there? Because you've got the beautiful stained glass windows, but in terms of the light, the natural light going in, it's a little bit dim. Do these churches have heritage
Look, some do, some don't. I don't think that one does. I think you can do whatever you want to that block right there, and I'd say there'll be a big set of units going up there soon, maybe a bit of residential as well.
I hope that they could keep the church somehow involved in it. There is another one in Melbourne for sale at the moment, so if you're interested in a church conversion, check it out. More Clearance Rate next week.